Hello, loyal fans and subscribers, Ninamori Fanboy here. If you still haven't heard the news, our suspicions were correct, and the Pokemon Company, Game Freak, Nintendo, whoever, confirmed that they are indeed remaking Ruby and Sapphire as Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire. Still haven't gotten the names down yet because they don't fit well in my opinion, but they're coming out in November, and that tells me they're probably releasing Gen 7 in December. So while there's still time, I've decided I'm going to make a list of my top 10 favorite Gen 6 Pokemon and my top 10 favorite Mega Evolution Pokemon before, Gen 7 comes this December. So, let's get started. Number 10. Mega Tyranitar. Tyranitar has always been one of my favorite pseudo-legendaries, and in fact he might be my favorite because some people don't consider Salamence a pseudo-legendary. Either way, Tyranitar is up there in my favorites list, and when they added the Mega Evolution to him, his base stats increased even higher than they already were, which is pretty awesome. It didn't get a new ability or new typing or anything, and its design is kind of, I think I like the design of original Tyranitar better, but the design isn't so bad in my opinion. I mean, for example, with Gyarados, I really like Gyarados, and I really, really dislike Mega Gyarados, but that's not quite the case with Tyranitar. I do like regular Tyranitar, but I also like Mega Tyranitar, so, yeah. Number 9. Mega Abomasnow. As of the time I'm recording this, I haven't actually got around to using Mega Abomasnow yet. I've only battled one once on Wi-Fi, and it was pretty much what I expected. I have tried training basic Abomasnow back in Gen 4, and they don't really turn out good, because, he's just got so many weaknesses. So, I'm curious to see what'll happen when I actually do get around to putting one on my team. I still have them trained. They're in one's in my Pokebank, one's in my box. I don't know how to build around it. I think it still has this hailing ability, which would be good for Blizzard and stuff. So yeah, because I don't know what it's really good at, because I haven't used one yet, and I haven't seen anyone else use it either, so yeah, gonna take it from there. Number 8. Mega Manectric. Back in Gen 3, I really liked this Pokemon, although it wasn't very good. I know back then it couldn't learn Flamethrower or really any attack that wasn't electric or normal. I don't know when it was able to learn Flamethrower, but I know now in Gen 6 it can learn not only Flamethrower, but also Overheat, which is good. A bit random, but good nonetheless. Its design, its stats, are good, but its design, when I first saw it, I'm like, what are they even doing? That doesn't even look like anything. But I've actually grown accustomed to it, and I like it quite a bit. Yeah, it's got great speed and special attack, which it's not really my two favorite stats, but I'll go with it because this thing is pretty epic. Number 7. Mega Blaziken. As you may or may not be aware from watching my top 25 favorite Pokemon video, Blaziken's always been up there, and I was very disappointed when they banned him to the Uber tier, all because of getting the speed boost ability, which you really couldn't even get back then. Regardless, once they gave away a free Torchic via event and the Mega item to evolve him, once he does Mega Evolve, he always has speed boost, so it's like, okay, now there's a legitimate reason to ban him, because he can be pretty much broken in one turn. But I still liked him. The first time I used him, I was hooked. I was addicted. I put him in my team and went to the Battle Mason, it's called, yes, and it was awesome. That was until a certain other Pokemon on this list came, and I ended up preferring that instead. But Blaziken's definitely cool. I won't continue to use it because it's banned, obviously, but I might try to continue using one in the Battle Mason. Number 6. Mega Charizard X. I'll admit, Charizard's definitely my least favorite of the original starter trio, and I was heavily disappointed when they revealed that Charizard had 2 Mega Evolutions and the other 2 only had 1. I was at least glad that the one that would be exclusive to my version, which would be X, would be the physical one of the 2, and that my cousin/rival Tyler would get the special variant. Although, if you looked at the stats and moves and everything, it was pretty obvious that the Y variant variant would be the one that would be far more usable in competitive battling, so I figured no one would even care about Charizard X except, little kids who think, oh, it's awesome because it's in Pokemon Origins. But the more I think about it, it actually is quite usable. I have used one multiple times in Wi-Fi battles, and I'm beginning to like it, actually. A Fire Dragon's pretty uncommon. The best thing about it is because when you are battling Wi-Fi, anyone pretty much will always expect you to evolve into Y, because, Y is pretty much better to be, not better, but less, I don't know how to describe this. I've tried many times and I don't know how. It's just Y should be more common on Wi-Fi, but when you do evolve into X, you can completely screw up strategies, and that's always fun. So, yeah. Number 5, Mega Blastoise. As I stated in my Charizard X description, I was pretty disappointed when they revealed that Charizard had 2 Mega Evolutions and the other 2 only had 1. I was even more disappointed by the fact that both Mega Charizard's designs looked pretty awesome and Blastoise didn't really get a visible improvement, in my opinion. He got a cannon on his back. That didn't really make it or break it for me. What did make it or break it for me, though, much later, after I realized how good his ability was, and going with his stats and egg moves, he can really be a threat. He's still slow, but he's got pretty good bulk and immense special attack once you Mega Evolve him, and Mega Launcher just increases the damage even more. So if someone's not expecting it, you can pretty much obliterate a team. Probably not by himself, because like I said, he is slow, so he might get outsped and KO'd, but he's still got power, and that's something. Number 4, Mega Medicham. Like I said about Manectric, I always liked Medicham since they released it in Gen 3. It was never really used that much competitively, I don't think anyway. And the bad thing about this is that now when you put a Medicham on your team, everyone knows, like Charizard, when you put one of them on your team, it's the Mega Evolution. Like, there's no hiding it. You would never put one of them on your team. Some Pokemon you can throw on your team, like Gyarados or Tyranitar, but like Charizard, probably Mawile, and Medicham are 3 that immediately come to mind. You pretty much can't put them on your team and not Mega Evolve them. But for what it's worth, Mega Medicham is kind of a beast. I definitely like it. He can hit really hard. He can hit like a train. That's pretty much it. He's frail as all get out, but he can dish out quite a bit of damage. If you're into using high jump kick, which I am not, then say goodbye to your opponent. Number 3. Mega Gardevoir. Like Manectric and Medicham, Gardevoir has always been a Gen 3 favorite of mine, although if memory serves, it was kinda slow things back in the latter days of competitive battling. It didn't really go well. Like, nowadays, if something's bulky and a tank pretty much, it can actually be used, but back in the day, it seemed like you could either only be a wall or sweeper. There were very few tanks. That's just my memory. I could be way wrong, but it just seems like that was the case. But now there's so much usability for these type of things, and not only that, Mega Gardevoir gained like 20 speed, so it's actually quite fast actually, and it's got great special attack, pretty good special defense, very bad HP and physical defense, so its role kind of changed exponentially. It also gained the fairy type, so that's good. Its design, it's pretty cool. It's got a bigger dress. I'm not even going to get into the drawing factor and Gardevoir and the fanboys, but one of the best things about it is its access to Hyper Voice, which becomes a fairy type move because of Pixelate. However, it only learns Hyper Voice from a Black 2 White 2 move tutor, and I know we all love that. However, they are releasing, as I stated, Ruby and Sapphire remakes later in the year, and of course Gen 7 later in the year, so provided they keep with the traditions, they'll probably have a move tutor in those games, which will be good, and hopefully they'll include Hyper Voice so I can put it on my team. Even without Hyper Voice, Mega Gardevoir is still pretty awesome, but I would just like to complete the set that I made, which is actually named after someone from some band that I actually prefer, and you're probably able to tell from my channel art and literally anything on the channel, but never mind. Number 2, Mega Lucario. During my Blaziken description, I said there was one Pokemon that made me stop liking Blaziken as much. That would be Mega Lucario. I originally only trained it because I put it on my team because I was having a battle with my cousin/rival Tyler, and I didn't have anyone EV trained, so I got some Pokemon from my box that looked like they had potential, and Mega Lucario was one of them. I figured, oh, I could do Mega Venusaur, but it's not EV trained, so I'll just EV train this thing. And it actually, I mean, that one sucked because it was the in-game one and it was hasty. I mean, it didn't suck, but it could have been better. So I trained another one, and it's actually been a lot of fun using it, and I was actually getting to like it. And then, out of the clear blue, Smogon University declared it was too powerful, so banned of the Uber tier, just like Blaziken. Oh, the irony. And number 1, Mega Venusaur. Anyone who's seen my list of 25 favorite Pokemon, you know, the early version of this, probably saw this coming because Venusaur was high on that list, and Mega Venusaur is actually pretty cool. Like I said in my Charizard and Blastoise descriptions, I was pretty disappointed that Charizard got 2 Mega Evolutions and the other 2 only got 1, you know, and I was equally disappointed at the design. You know, both the Charizard's Mega Evolutions looked cool, and Blastoise's and Venusaur's didn't get that much of an improvement in my opinion. However, the thick fat ability and the added bulk really make Venusaur awesome for me, because, you know, I like bulky things, and I've always liked Venusaur, regular Venusaur's bulk, but this is just a whole new level. It is virtually unkillable. Attack on Synthesis and Leech Seed, Giga Drain, and yeah, I mean, things will be trying their hardest to kill you, and it can distract the opponent sometimes, I've discovered, and that's pretty cool. I don't know if it is technically overused or not, but I certainly overuse it because it's just so awesome. It's definitely my favorite Mega Evolution. I don't see it being used too often, but I know when it does get used, it just completely wrecks the field, unless, you know, there are some solid counters, but, you know, who cares about them? Yes, it's definitely a personal choice. There probably are better tanks or walls or however you want to classify Mega Venusaur, but Venusaur is my favorite, and I'll definitely continue to use it. So thank you for watching this video, and if you haven't seen my other video of my favorite Gen 6 Pokemon, be sure to check that out. And if you're feeling really ambitious, you can check out my old video where I list my top 25 favorite Pokemon. And if you're really ambitious, you can wait a few months when they release Gen 7, the remakes of Ruby and Sapphire, the Z version of this, and probably Gen 8 in the next month. So thanks.